Euthyphro Dilemma. The Euthyphro Dilemma was originally coined by Plato in one of his dialogues, and the basic form goes like this. Is good approved by God because it is good, or does God's approval make it good? Asked in another way, does God appeal to a standard of morality that's outside of himself? Or does God invent a standard with which to judge? In the first case, it would appear that God is less than a cause of all things, because he appeals to something he did not make, and it exists independently from him. We would question whether he is all-powerful. In the second case, it appears that good and evil are entirely arbitrary if he merely invents a standard. So we would question whether he is all good. Now, in terms of a dilemma, we can avoid both problems because we can recognize that it is a false dilemma. God is good. As a part of him, it is neither removed from him, as if he would appeal to it, nor is it an arbitrary thing that he adopts. For a metaphor, God's goodness is like a hand, rather than a robe. A robe can sit afar and be appealed to or judged, and so also it can be woven, but in either case it is separate from a person, whereas a hand is part of oneself. There are other responses, but this is the best one, and most atheists do not employ this dilemma with any seriousness nowadays because of it. So to reiterate, does God appeal to a moral standard that exists outside of himself, or does God invent a moral standard? The truth is that God is goodness. He is the moral standard, and that he has no reason either to adopt a standard or to appeal to one. Thereby, when we can gladly say that there's no dilemma because God himself is good. Goodness is a part of him like a hand.